con woman, fraudster, daughter, wife, missing person. There are several words used to describe Melissa Caddick, but today there was only one: deceased. The inquest into Melissa Caddick's disappearance has concluded, with the coroner ruling the Sydney woman is in fact dead. But in a case which has confounded the police, forensic experts and conspiracy theorists for more than 2 years, there are questions that may never be answered. Reporter Jamie McKinnell is outside the coroner's court and joins us now. Good afternoon, Jamie. Tell us about the court's ruling.
Good afternoon, Ros. Well, more than 2.5 years after this disappearance, the Deputy State Coroner, Elizabeth Ryan, has concluded that Melissa Caddick is indeed dead, but she wasn't able to go beyond that and make any conclusions as to how, where or when Melissa Caddick died. Melissa Caddick was 49 and was allegedly running a multi-million-dollar Ponzi scheme in November 2020 when she vanished. Now, the corporate watchdog ASIC was investigating that alleged Ponzi scheme and had raided her Dover Heights home in Sydney's eastern suburbs very shortly before Melissa Caddick's husband, Anthony Colletti, claimed she went for an early morning run and never returned. Now, the inquest heard the alleged fraud involved in that Ponzi scheme was in excess of $23 million. One of the main theories involved in this inquest, which was investigated, was a theory that Melissa Caddick died by suicide and that her body first entered the ocean at cliffs near her home in Sydney's east. The court heard from oceanographers and other experts who were asked to consider the possibility that her body entered the water at the Dover Heights area and then made its way to a south coast beach in New South Wales, where her decomposing foot encased in a sneaker washed up about 3 months after she disappeared. Now, the court heard an autopsy on those partial remains wasn't able to make any conclusion about the cause of death. Here is some of the Deputy State Coroner making findings and summarising her conclusions today.
I have concluded that Melissa Caddick is deceased. However, a more problematical issue is whether the evidence is sufficient to enable a positive finding as to how she died and when and where this happened.
Now, on this theory of Melissa Caddick taking her own life at the cliffs near her home, the Deputy State Coroner noted that there were no reliable sightings of Melissa Caddick after she disappeared. There was also no CCTV footage of her around any coastal areas. So Magistrate Ryan said it was certainly possible that Ms Caddick died by that manner, but she said that a finding that a particular scenario is plausible doesn't equate to accepting that possible scenario.
Jamie, Melissa Caddick's husband was also singled out for some criticism. What did the coroner say about him?
That's right. So Anthony Colletti was someone viewed by police as a person who exhibited strange and very inconsistent behaviour in the hours and then weeks after his wife first disappeared. The court heard that he didn't report Melissa Caddick missing until about 30 hours had passed, and that was because he told the court he thought that he had to wait 24 hours before he reported someone missing. But the Deputy State Coroner has said that Anthony Colletti's evidence at this inquest was riddled with inconsistencies and confusion. She said that invited the question as to why he might have felt that he wasn't able to provide a frank account of the 30 hours in which she waited before reporting her missing. The magistrate said that she was concluding that during the 30 hours, Mr Colletti had knowledge or awareness of Melissa Caddick's movements that he didn't share with police, although she wasn't able to go beyond that and say what Mr Colletti's knowledge might have been. Here is Mr Colletti leaving the court today. He made his way quite aggressively through a pack of journalists and camera operators to a car driven by Melissa Caddick's brother, Adam Grimley.
Were you surprised by the coroner's criticism? Mr Colletti, do you know more?
What didn't you tell?
What's your reaction to the findings today?
Now, the police investigation was also subject to some criticism here by the court. The magistrate found that the first officer in charge didn't immediately refer the case to the homicide squad because he made the conclusion that Melissa Caddick hadn't been harmed by anyone else. The Deputy State Coroner said that was premature to conclude that, and she said that might have given rise to some leads that could have steered the direction of the investigation, although it was mere speculation that whether any knowledge or any information might have been useful for the investigation. She's made one recommendation in terms of when a case should be referred to the homicide squad, but overall, in terms of what exactly happened to Melissa Caddick, more than 2.5 years after she disappeared, that mystery is really no further closer to being solved, Roz.
Jamie, thank you.